So it's time to check out the new event. Well, technically the new event. And my apologies if I sound a bit like trash today. I am a little bit sick. I was actually a little bit sick for the last 3, 4, 5 days. Getting better, but still. I don't know how the microphone will pick me up. So in case if it does pick up if it does pick me up in a very weird tone, that's the reason. So this is the prehistoric revelation that I've kept alive for I don't know how long anymore, and this is the thing that I'll be using for this little event. Now, I originally actually thought to test out the new siege reinforcement tactical module for the dreadnoughts. I mean, we all know that dreadnoughts and recently some battleships have been changed. They gained +1 medium slot and also gained a new special module. In this case, it is siege for this ship as well. Now, it is basically going to perform like the built-in siege mode. The only difference is it is no longer built-in. It is a lot closer now to what the EVE Online's equivalent is. Basically, you have to install a module in order to get the siege, and it's now the same thing over here as well. Of course, the stats on this thing are not going to be anywhere near to the stats that I used to have. What were the old stats? 800,000 in armor alone or something like that. Yeah, I used to have pretty good skills for this, and not anymore. And of course the build was also very different. I don't know if I even have rigs on this thing. I think I have some cheap rigs now, but yeah, same hull that I used to fly a long time ago, but the only difference is it's no longer expensive and obviously no longer in use. But for this little event I might as well use it, because why not? I think it would be nice to fly the revelation a little bit. And where is the event? Well, it's over here, Verge of Silence. Let's go right here and let's see what happens. Now, when I spawned here for the very first time, I was immediately disappointed because I refueled this thing. Okay, I refueled it twice, but there is apparently no fuel over here when you enter this. Could be changed. I know there's been a couple updates, hot fixes that perhaps did fix this. I mean, I did record this a couple days ago, so not really the most up to date video here, but very sure they fixed it. So might have siege available now here. So what is the goal here? Well, the goal is to destroy the sleeper base and basically to collect the minerals I guess, or from the belts. You will have combat ships here, and you will also see mining ships. I actually seen a lot more mining ships than I've seen combat ships. From the combat ships, I would actually recommend that you go here with a drone boat, or a high, not exactly high DPS with build, but definitely don't go here with a glass ship. That's not going to end well, because the sleepers are definitely scary. Oh, and before I forget, almost forgot, next week is supposedly the big release of new ships. I'm excited for that. I'm definitely excited for that. That's the big week, the actual anniversary, as I like to call it, the actual anniversary celebration. The actual content is in a couple days from now. So yeah, that's exciting, and honestly, looking forward to see what ships are going to be added. I jokingly said a Black Ops Macariel a long time ago, a Macariel with the battle mode, that actually might become reality. We will see. Now, as you can see, players are already all over the place with the... I was a little bit late, to be honest. I did record this, but I deleted accidentally, so I had to return and re-record. The first recording was much better, I would say. There have been maybe 70 ships on day one. There's also a lucid moon over there, so I guess we do have the chance to see something quite unique. And honestly, that lucid moon is huge. That's a carrier, by the way. Dreadnought should be a higher tonnage. My revelation looks like a toy compared to the lucid moon there. And there is a Vazago as well, that is being the primary target for the sleepers. And then there is this thing. Oh, the one thing that other ships probably don't have, are the kill marks that I have on this thing. You know, kind of funny that they're still kind of hidden. You do have a trick. On my tablet, for example, I see the kill marks on other ships. On my phone, I don't. I don't know how to trigger that to happen, to spawn, you know. But I would seriously wish if the kill marks were visible to everyone. And we do see some very expensive nano cores over here. That's... what was the name of this nano core? I forgot. Terminac or something? I didn't buy it, obviously, since I usually don't buy the paid nano cores. I only bought once, I believe. Yeah, I only bought one nano core for the RB, and that was pretty much it. Never bought another nano core after that. Only from the Concord Pass or from the market, you know. Only the easily affordable ones are the ones that I usually use. And well, yeah, that's usually what we'd expect here. I would have a lot more success if I had a carrier myself, or if I did have a drone boat. Drone boats, close range, high DPS ships with tank, or snipers would actually do really well. Drone boat snipers with sentries, also a pretty solid idea. But a dreadnought, yeah, obviously I didn't expect that I'll get any points to begin with, because I know players would use, you know, the right ships for the job. Kind of funny that I didn't see any super carrier here. I think super carriers are unable to go here. However, I have no idea if what I just said there is true, because who knows, maybe there is a super capital. Maybe super carriers can go into the safe system. But to be honest, super carriers are there in the other system. Because why not? That's where they usually would be. I mean, after all, it is a super capital. If I had one, I would be there as well. Huge ship, had a lot of tank, and usually without a good fleet, they are not going to go down that easily, unless of course they are glass. If they're glass, well, then a bunch of Belashes will also be enough to destroy them, as we have seen. I don't know, I think like last week or so, or maybe, I don't know when it was actually, but I saw a Nyx get torn to shreds by 20 battleships. Looked like a PvP Nyx as well. Of course, that's what happens when you have a bad build. I mean, super capitals have the potential to be so tanky that a properly tanked super capital will be able to solo a huge battleship fleet without a problem at the moment. In the case of the bomber attack, the implant, I mean, with that implant you don't really need a lot of DPS to get like a huge amount of DPS. In the end, tank is definitely the way to go. And with Titans, which now some players are telling me Titans are around the end, will come around the end of the year. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to fly or test them out myself, since we all know what happened already to the good old place where I was able to just relax and test stuff properly, you know. I can no longer do that because that thing is no longer alive. It's gone. So that's a very unfortunate. That's, I think, the single most large disappointment I've experienced. Just when you would expect to see Titans, and you know, just when content creators were able to just test them out properly, that's when it gets taken away.
Drive active.
I hope it gets reverted though. I do hope that it gets reverted, reworked, maybe improved, but I don't really think that's going to happen. If it were to be improved, it would already been improved, but it's not. So yeah, I mean, yes, I'll just look at Titans through the market, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea how that will go. Well, it's I was a little late here as well. Lovely. Honestly, this event, I don't know why it wasn't improved. I like the concept of it. I like the concept of mass PvE, players versus a huge fleet of NPC ships. They could have easily added 17 more waves, and honestly, I would say it would be a lot more fun if it had a lot more waves with different ship sizes, of course. After all, players are already yeeting everything they have, the larger ship they have here, so this game mode definitely still has room for improvement, but it's still the same as it used to be from the day of its release, I think. Maybe some minor adjustments, but I don't really see any difference myself. Hoped that there would be a difference, but so far there is not any visible. But this little game mode alone has so much potential. It still does have, and the developers can still do something with it. I don't know why they're not doing anything with it though. That's a thing I don't understand, for example. A thing that I definitely do not understand at all, but you know,
Warp drive active.
it does still give me the option to fly the Revelation, so not going to entirely complain too much. Definitely feels good to fly this thing, even if it's just literally flying around and doing nothing. I used to have so much fun with it. It does feel like that was the golden moment that I experienced in the game. Was really fun to fly this thing. Well, some decent screenshots definitely going to be produced from this little event. If there's anything, you know, good with this event, it's the screenshots that I made. They look very nice. There's just no denying that it looks very nice. But yeah, that was the Verge of Silence event. Not exactly the ship I would recommend you to use for this, because obviously with the Revelation
enemy ships detected.
Obviously the Revelation is not going to be the best for this, due to the slow lock on time, the siege not work. Well, maybe it works now, I don't know. But is this event enjoyable? Well, honestly, it can be enjoyable, but you will have to fly the right ship for it. I enjoyed being there looking at ships exploding. That was enough for me. Although I have to say, last time it was definitely a bit more dynamic since you could see player ships blow up as well, and that was pretty funny. It reminded me of the good old days in a different game where you did have about the similar event, and it was also a mass PvE and PvP because you were open to PvP as well. So kind of reminds me of that, and that was some pretty interesting time. That was 2008, 2009, 10, over a decade ago in this moment. A different game that I don't even know if it's alive anymore. We'll have to double check that, but yeah, I quit that game in 2014, I believe, or 13. That was also nearly a decade, actually a decade ago at this moment. But that would be the Verge of Silence with the revelation. I enjoyed watching ships explode, and honestly, I enjoyed seeing the ship fly again. I don't have any skills for it, by the way. I was flying it quite literally without skills. The only reason why I was flying it without skills is because this is a PvE event, and skills wouldn't really do any. If I had them maxed out, I would still be unable to lock on time, But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe, fly safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.
Warp drive active.